journal called Brihan. He has an expertise in e-content development and evaluation. He has offered services as resource person for EMRC, RUSA, NAC. He is the recipient of Best Teacher Award, Nirmal Academy Pune Award, Educational Excellence Award, and Best Principal Award. I humbly request Professor Rawal to deliver his talk on documentation for NAC. Professor Rawal.
Thank you, ma'am, for the nice words of the introduction. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Honorable PVC Registrar, hello, hello.
Sir, you are audible.
The office bearers of the institute, Principal Patil, Dr. Babrekar, senior consultant from the RUSA, Dr. Mrs. Vani Laturkar, principals, coordinators, and my dear participants from across the country. I'll be talking with you about the documentation which is required for the NAC process. I'll be sharing my experience. Possibly I will be giving you some examples also. This interaction will take place for around 40-45 minutes and it will be followed by question answers. After the presentation of Dr. Mrs. Laturkar, she has explained at length the process of the NAC. And on the basis of this process, the institute which applies for assessment obtains grade from the NAC. And then everybody tries to obtain good grade. And when we say good grade, the good grade is based on your report, your annual reports, and your documents. The basic important thing or the backbone of the NAC process is the documentation, or we can call it as an evidence. Evidence are more material, more important, and they do make significant change in obtaining your grade from the NAC authorities. Documents and evidence always speak about the credential, the activities you carried out, the interactions took place in the institutions, the overall view of an educational institution is reflected with the help of documents and evidences. Now, if you look to an educational institution functioning starts with an inquiry, then admissions, then teaching and learning, then evaluation, and it is supplemented by some co-curricular, extracurricular activities. And in order to do this, the support of infrastructure, support of collaborations, support of university, support of the national or apex bodies in terms of financial support like UGC, RUSA, and our parent university. And then our output comes into the market. So being a student, they have two opportunities. One is an employment, second is a self-employment. And once student pass out, he becomes an alumni or an ex-student of the college. So the institute interactions with the ex-student and institute's interactions with the remaining stakeholder of the educational periphery are more important. So in nutshell, right from inquiry to an engagement with the alumni, college is required to maintain a dialogue. College is required to maintain a rapport with these all stakeholders. And then how you are performing is evaluated based on certain parameters. Some parameters are qualitative and some parameters are quantitative. And now you have seen the process wherein 70% assessment is done online and 30% assessment is a combination of student satisfaction survey, actual visit of the peer team, and interactions with the alumni and other stakeholders. So it is very much important and very much essential to have the documents or proofs ready prior to starting or commencing process of the evaluation. Before institute starts the process of assessment and accreditation, one has to ensure that every document which is required, every paper which is required is kept ready so that it is easy to upload these all proofs and evidences on online system of assessment and accreditation. If this all is not ready, then possibly after submission of your SSR, you may get n number of queries and explanation mails from the NAC authorities. And hence, this process is important. And from that point of view, there is a need to understand the documentation, how documents are maintained, how documents are important. I'll be sharing my PowerPoint presentation here, wherein, is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So once we talk about the documentation, prior to documentation, let us have a recap of some of the important changes which have taken place in a process of assessment and accreditation. As on today, the NAC process has become extremely objective and very specific. So there is no need to write paras and pages. There is a need to write apt database along with all evidences. So whatever activity you are undertaking, whether it is curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular, or a support system, need to be specified clearly with adequate evidences. Second point I have mentioned, that data to be furnished with proofs and evidences. If these proofs and evidences, adequate, reasonable, rational proofs and evidences are not placed or not uploaded in a process of accreditation, then possibly the institute may lose the marking and it will affect on overall grade. Total system has become online now. It is an ICT base. The emphasis is on system generated score, that is 70% plus the outcome from the student satisfaction survey. The system has moved from college centric to student centric. Now this is a very important change which has taken place. Students are in the center, and for the students' overall development, what college is doing in curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular is measured. And then there is a less possibility that you can outsource this all. Now what is new in this system? There is a reduction in number of questions. There is a reduction in size of the report. Enhanced student participation is there, and enhanced alumni participation is there. And as I pointed out, there is an emphasis on use of technology. Now, in this new system, it is not possible to do the things afterwards. There is a need to do planning for 5 years, work for all 5 years, and then go for an assessment. The days have gone when people used to adjust and possibly fabricate the total working, functioning, and so on. Now that all is not possible. Every year you have to report. Every year you have to prepare a plan. So plan out and then work out your plan. That need to be a strategy. And for that purpose, you have to involve everybody. When I'm saying everybody, right from P to P, peon to principal, plus stakeholder, you have to involve. And from that point of view, documentation matters. Now, what do we mean by documents? The material that provides official information or evidence, or that serves as a record. Now that all can be considered as document. So it is an official information, it is an evidence, or it is a record available with us. The process of classifying and annotating text and photographs, everything will be there. The document will be in various forms. Now possibly this document and the process of documentation will give us answer to these 4 questions. That what you have done, which activity you have carried out, why you did it, what is the purpose, what was an objective for that, how the process went on, how process is executed, implemented, and when it is implemented. So whatever you are doing, there is a need to answer these 4 questions. And once this all is there, this evidence will be direct or it will be an indirect. Direct evidence possibly will prove point in fact without interpretation of circumstances. Pinpoint answers, in Marathi we call Baap Dakhav Naitar Shraddha Kar, like that. Very clear information, direct information. For example, suppose there is a question, number of students. So number of students will be say 5,430. So 5,430 will be an appropriate, correct, apt, rational, reasonable answer. Direct information. No ambiguity. Now there might be some indirect evidence. The indirect evidence is circumstantial evidence, interpretation required to prove the point in fact. For example, the news appeared into newspaper, possibly will be able to help you to indicate that what type of activity is completed, how it is completed, who were the beneficiaries or participants, and who were the resource persons and the keynote speakers and so on. So there are 2 types of evidences which are required. One is direct, second is an indirect. Now when we talk about the importance of documentation, naturally 3 points need to be considered. In this process, current process of NAAC evaluation and assessment, there is a major shift from qualitative judgment to database evaluation. Qualitative and quantitative matrix-based data submission is required in SSR as well as in our annual reports, AQAR. Online evaluation is there, as I have pointed out. Now, while considering this, there is a need to think about what type of data we are providing or uploading need to be authenticated. It is an appropriately developed, authorized by appropriate authority, and document is self-explanatory. Objectivity is there, transparency is there, accountability is there, and possibly it is an external as well as internal validation will take place. Both are required. It is internally by accuracy verified again by the accuracy committee and principal and then NAC coordinator, and then submitted. And once you submit, the external peer review is undertaken, and then followed by an actual visit. Whatever you are submitting need to be such wherein the creditability of an educational institution is not challenged, not comes into the question mark. That need to be taken into account, and then adequate care and precaution is required. When we talk about the requirements of new submission, these points need to be taken into account. Many times what happens, your data file is such large, huge, it becomes very difficult and it cannot be uploaded. So this information is important. The data need to be 5 MB, limit is there. Attachment exceeds 5 MB, possibly the host on the higher education institution's website and provide the link. Upload all required documents during the SSR, and then DVV, data validation and verification, is faster. If you did properly, then possibly you will be able to move to the next process of your accreditation. Uploaded documents should be clearly readable. Sometimes what happens, we go for the scanning, and unfortunately sometimes we go for scanning in our local vernacular language documents, and it becomes very difficult for the external peer reviews to read it. Possibly they may not know the Marathi or our local language. So it is advisable, if you upload such document, have an executive summary, small summary in English, which will be appropriately translating the exact content and meaning of the document. Data that are hosted in the website should not change after the submission of the link. That is also equally important, because it is our creditability. Give the links at appropriate places to the metrics and not to general links at home page. Supporting documents, as I already told you, need to be properly translated into the English, simple English, clear English, appropriate English, wherein the meaning will not change. Meaning of the content of the document will not change. Now, the major difficulty which all educational institutions across the India and possibly in the globe also face, the major challenge about collection of data, analysis of data, interpretation of data, and using that all data to the process of NAC. Now, if you look to this one, what are the sources of documents? There are sources like government. I'll give an example. Your college has been granted additional division, the government GR is there. Your college has granted additional faculty, the GR is there. University, there will be an official note by the university issued by the registrar, or there will be the report of the inquiry committees, or possibly the website details wherein the details of your college will be available. College Development Committee, which is the apex body internally so far as college is concerned. And this CDC deals with the functioning of the college. So various resolutions which are passed in the CDC can be considered, are used as a document, because CDC is an authority to make decisions at college level. Then principal and IQAC. And then what should be the mechanism? Mechanism is that you have to collect the data from individuals, all individuals I'm using the word individuals, I mean P2P, principal to peon, students, faculty, head of the department, vice principals, supervisors, lab in charge, and so on, all. Our ex-student, alumni, so that all. In our college, there are n number of committees, right from admission committee to examination committee. Many committees are there, their reports. Then the office is there, a backbone of this system. Office is dealing with admission, maintaining lot of records related to admission, student registered, stock registered, salary registered, payment registered, supplier list, and so on. That all. Student, in case of student, we have a data of almost everything, right from the name of the student, father's name, mother's name, caste, subcaste, all details which we use. Departments, we have many faculty. There are colleges which are single faculty, two faculty, and multi-faculty, that is arts, science, and commerce. And there are a lot of combinations, granted courses, non-granted courses, partial granted courses, then diploma courses, then certificate courses, and credit courses. So there are various departments across these all faculties. There are various departments. So departmental meetings, minutes of departmental meetings, and so on. And then there is an outside source also. There are many sources outside. Ranking, national ranking is there. Ranking by the state government is there. Ranking by UGC is there. Then accreditation by NAC is there. There are many sources which are available. Then there are reports of various organizations. So they are part of your documents. When we say the process, in this process, one has to consider that they have to answer all these questions. Who is doing? Why is doing? Where the activity is undertaken? When it is undertaken? How it is undertaken? And what is the content of that activity? So criteria-wise planning is important, which help us to understand and to prepare a system for our documentation. Now, when we say documentation, there are various forms of documentation. Now, if you consider the guidelines of the NAC and various manuals which are available on the website of the NAC, every college is required to submit the SSR, and in SSR, there are some limits of words. Some answers you have to give in 200 words, some answers in 500 words, and at many places there are templates. So within the template, you have to frame and you have to adjust yourself, you have to accommodate yourself without impact on quality or content or what you wish to convey. Then there might be some tabular formats. Tabular formats will be n number of formats. Suppose the teacher's information is there. Serial number, name of the teacher, educational qualification, experience, subject start, results, percentage, awards, publications, grants, major, minor research, and so on. Many information. That all will be available in tabular form to us. There might be some percentage or average. Percentage, the passing percentage. Percentage of full-time faculty with student ratio. So all these ratio will come into percentage. And there might be an averages also. Depending upon that information, the average will be calculated. Average of 1 year, average of 3 years, average of 5 years, and so on. Possibly there might be some video recording of various activities. Suppose there are sport activities, some video is available. There is a national or international workshop, symposium, or seminar, or conferences. There might be some group activities like group discussion. There might be some activities like PowerPoint presentation. Today's activity is webinar. So such videos will be useful. And photographs. Photographs of relevant year and of relevant activity which are mentioned in our SSR only. Scanned documents I have already told you, and web link are provided, and possibly you may require to submit and upload data in PDF formats also. Now the question is, why PDF format? PDF format means Once you complete a PDF format, your data will remain intact. That is an important thing. So whatever is submitted from your end is as it is, no change. So that PDF format is important. So these are the forms of documents which are required to be maintained, which are required to be developed, which are required to be processed while going for accreditation and assessment. Now, sometimes the data you will find readily, which is available with you. For example, I have told you an affiliation letter from the university, which gives you that your college is affiliated for so and so period. Maybe permanently affiliated college. Many colleges are permanently affiliated. So that letter is available readily. Just you have to scan it and upload. There might be some registration. Now, you know, in Maharashtra, there is a unique code which is given to the all institutions, educational institutions. Okay, so that statutory registration, government, university, UGC, 12F, 2F, 12B, college with potential for excellence, DBT colleges, some infrastructure photographs you can develop. Sanction strength of the for new course, old course given by the government, approved by the university. The accreditation status, NAC is giving you the certificate indicating the validity period and then your actual grade and grade points and everything. Policy documents, some basic policy documents are there. Then budget and statements of account, audited statements of account, which you submit to the higher education or your joint director, and then stock register. So these are the available with you. Just you have to collect them, arrange in sequential manner as per the criteria requirement, and then you can go ahead. Some documents you have to create. For example, list of alumni. Every time you have to update. List of details of alumni. They might change their jobs. They might switch over to employment to self-employment. Their addresses are changed. So these are updated things. Description about the policies, process, audits, and output and outcome. Photographic evidences, scanned document, data sheet, data analysis, action taken reports, ATR. They are more important. You know, in our CDC, the first item is always confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting. And second item is always action taken report. Action taken about the previous meeting or about the previous decisions which are taken on. So such action taken report you have to generate of all your bodies, of your all committees. Enrollment, examination result, placement is again important thing which need to be there. Surveys and feedback. Every college and every faculty member and department is engaged in lot of surveys. See, local interactions with the local community is important, and this is undertaken with the help of lot of surveys. We have always NSS units, and NSS during the period of their camping, they do the socio-economic survey. Then we possibly conduct within the college also lot of surveys. Surveys about the attendance of the student. Surveys about the new technology introduced, feedback survey by the student and by the faculty, and so on. So some documents are readily available with you. Just you have to collect it and organize properly. And some you have to create, you have to develop, and for that purpose you have to implement a system. Then let us go to the criteria wise. Now criteria 1, there are 4 items important: curricular planning, academic flexibility, enrichment, and feedback system. Now when we talk about this one, criteria, what type of documents are required? I have given one big list here. Intentionally I have presented in a different format. Now the first one is bridge course. Now bridge course is a course which is introduced by the college to ensure that your newly admitted students are able to cope up with minimum level of knowledge. That is bridge course. Suppose you have a course like BBA. So in BBA, there is a possibility the student from science may come, student from commerce also may come. So there is a need to ensure that minimum accounting is known to him, minimum economics is known to him. So these are all bridge courses. So document is required. So bridge course, title, for which class you are introducing it, what are the content, syllabus are there, what will be the procedure adopted for delivery, that is teaching and learning, when, what will be the timetable, who will be the faculty, who will do it, actually when it is implemented, number of students attended, and then followed by their feedback. And then feedback suggestions are incorporated next time when you are again introducing these courses. So this is all about documents, about the bridge courses. Teaching plans. Teaching plan, generally how we do, that's again a big question. Teaching plan need to be always in micro details. Not only writing just on left hand serial number 1, left hand syllabus as per the university and number of lectures. That is not a meaning of teaching plan. Teaching plan need to be in detail, that in each component, how much time you are giving. So teaching plan will be like this: serial number, description, then teaching methodology to be applied, when you are going to do it, and then again the details about the attendance and so on. Teacher's diary. Teachers are supposed to maintain a diary. It will be a blueprint of our functioning. And then diary need to be such which will give you the true figures, facts and figures about your working. Same is the case with academic audit. Innovative teaching method you are applying. For example, suppose there is an arts faculty and political science is a subject, and mock parliament or mock Vidhan Sabha you are conducting. Something like this. In a commerce college, for mercantile law, industrial law, mock AGMs are conducted. Something new which is in addition to your existing teaching pedagogy. That is all teaching methods. Syllabus framing, teachers in other teachers are participating at university level. Some are the BOS members, some are on faculty, some are on academic council. They're all details. Activities for slow learners. Basically, the students are supposed to be grouped as per their ability. So some are slow learners, some are advanced learner. For advanced learner, you are doing something additional over and above, and you are giving them an exposure, you are giving them an opportunity, and you are trying to satisfy their ever increasing expectations about gaining knowledge. And for slow learners, you are supporting them in different formats, maybe question papers, maybe study material notes, maybe you are allowing them to write the papers and you are checking that all. Excursion tours, particularly in science faculty, there are always excursion tours, industrial visits are there, particularly for biology, microbiology and so on. And then feedback. Now in feedback, there is a need to have a document which will indicate that feedback is formalized. When the feedback is conducted, who provided the feedback, what were the suggestions made by the student, and then suggestions are incorporated. After incorporation, there is an improvement or some significant change is there or not. So that feedback doesn't mean that just only circulate the seats, ask them to write their opinions and keep it into the store. That is not a meaning of feedback. Feedback is properly formalized, feedback is collected, feedback is analyzed, analysis is provided to all concerned faculties. They are given an opportunity to make an improvement. After improvement again, the feedback is again collected, and then it is measured with your first feedback, and you possibly understand what improvement has taken place or not. And then what will be an action of IQAC or the authorities. So this is all about this one. So far as the first criteria is concerned, there are many more things about the documents. notices, our all notices which starts from the admission notice and which end up with the result declaration, and then appreciation of the student who stood first in our college or in university, who are merit holders of university. So these all notices, our attendance sheets may be taken physically or maybe online, photographs, reports, and this all is required for purpose of the now documentation. So possibly now you might have understood what document is. Let us go to the another things. Now this need to be in tabular form. Bridge course, notice is there, attendance is taken, photograph possibly you may not have, but then report is prepared by the concerned committee, and then the analysis is completed. Whether the bridge course is useful or not useful. If it is useful, is there any scope for improvement? And if improvement, which improvements are introduced in next year and so on, or in next course. Same thing is teaching plan, notice is required, attendance is required, photograph possibly is not required. Report in teaching plan, there will be a report by the HOD that all have submitted the teaching plans in time and they are as per the formats. You may prepare a prescribed format or let the faculty members design their own format considering the requirement of their own department. And same is the case with remaining all. Same is the case with remaining all. This is all about the documents required for the criteria 1. Now there was a one point in documents which I have shown you that at many places there is a need to have some percentage or quantitative information. Now look here, I have mentioned about the number of teachers participation in university level bodies or other bodies, academic council, faculty, BOS and so on. So what is percentage? Total number of teachers, number of teachers participated divided by total number of teachers into 100. That is in percentage which will be available. Same case here, 1.2.1 percentage of new courses introduced. Every year how many new courses are introduced? You can calculate the percentage here. 1.2.3, let us see average percentage of students enrolled in the subject, related certificate courses, diploma courses, add-on courses and so on. So you can calculate the percentage here. So what is important here? You must have data with you. If data is available, then possibly calculation of these things will be easy for us. Let us go to criteria 2. Teaching learning. Important is student enrollment, catering to student diversity, teaching learning process, teachers profile, evaluation process, student performance and student satisfaction survey. Let us look. Again, very detailed list I have prepared. Now here, the pre-syllabus commencement test. Is it possible when student is admitted and before he starts regular learning of the class, maybe FY, then do you conduct any test prior to that to understand their IQ, SQ, PQ? Intelligent quotient, personality quotient, social quotient, emotional quotient and so on. Do you do that all? Then that will be requirement. If you are doing, then all relevant documents will be there. Bridge courses I have told you. Academic counseling. Academic counseling take place at various places. Prior to admission, you are doing an counseling. Once he is admitted, you are doing again counseling. During the process of graduation, you are doing at various stages counseling. After completion of graduation or post-graduation, again you are providing support, whether to go for a job or whether to start a business. After 5-6 years also, student also come back and ask you, sir, shall I leave the job and do some business? So this all counseling is taking place at different times, at different time periods. You need to maintain an appropriate record about it. The problem is that almost every teacher do lot of counseling to all the students, but they don't maintain the record about it. So my humble request to all of you to ensure that you will do this all You will bring this all into paper. Possibly you can write some names in codes and suggestions also. So counseling is an important thing which matters a lot. Seminar by student, remedial teaching about the backlog student, exam writing skill. Sometimes what happens, student comes from a local language, vernacular medium. Say for in Maharashtra, he completed 10th standard or 12th standard into Marathi and now coming into an English. Then there is a need to guide him about the writing skill. Those who are coming from English medium also, there is a need to guide them that how the questions of the university can be answered properly. So writing skill, group discussion, digital notes, guest lectures, language laboratory uses. We have a lot of laboratories. In science faculty, there are a lot of laboratories, right from physics, chemistry, A group and B group. In commerce, we have laboratories like the accounting lab, language lab, and so on, and commerce lab. In arts faculty also, we have a geographical lab and so on. So what is the uses of this one? Labs are available. Computer lab is available, but to what extent it is utilized? So you have to maintain a daily record that how many students have visited, how many hours it is utilized, and for what purpose it is utilized. So that all is right. Creation of a group of advanced learner, as I told you. Then workshop for the student, exhibition, quiz, poster presentation, role play, student projects, online lectures, visit, treks, participation in seminar, heritage walk, nature walk. Now eco-friendly, environmental friendly things are increasing and improving. NGOs, many times NGO visit to our institutions, alumni interactions, copy of the academic calendar, exam related everything, then debates and research projects, many times PPG competition also. Lot of things are there. So this is not an final list. Depending upon the nature of your college, you can prepare the list and ensure that an appropriate document is available. Again, here also, percentage are sometimes required. For example, the percentage per year of number of students from out of states, from the total. Okay. Average percentage of the seats filled against the seats reserved for various categories. In college, we have social reservation. That there are various categories of reservation. Say SC, ST, OBC, NT, ABC, D, and so on. So what is the percentage of all these students with the total number of students? So this percentage are asked in our report. So you have to keep the data available. That all refers to again documentation. Ratios of mentors to the student for academic and stress related issues. Mentor and mentee ratio is required. Now in college, what we do, we prepare a list of the mentors, our staff faculty members, and under each faculty members there are number of certain students which are given for mentoring and counseling, etc. Possibly for suppose one teacher is dealing with say 25 students of one particular year, maybe FY, maybe SY, TY, or maybe post graduation. Then that mentor-mentee ratio, number of faculty members and number of students under each mentor or faculty, that need to be there. So this all information is required. Now this information you can prepare in tabular form. Year, number of students enrolled in the institution, number of full-time teachers, and mentor-mentee ratio. So then it will be easy to fill up the details in the SSR. Mrs. Laturkar was talking about the key indicators. Now what is in our evaluation process and reforms? So reforms in continuous internal evaluation system at an institutional level. And then you have to write into within the 500 words. So this you have to prepare that what additional precautions you have taken, which can be considered as a reform of the examination, and it is beneficial to you and your student. So like this, you have to create a document for that. Criteria number 3, research, innovation, and extension. Promotion of research, resource mobilization, innovative ecosystem, publication, consultancy, extension activities, and collaboration. Now related to this again, you have to develop a system wherein all data is properly recorded, stored, and maintained, properly maintained. So guest lectures, industrial visit, workshops, seminars, industrial projects, road safety programs, anti-tobacco drive, cleanliness drive, environmental awareness, anti-dowry movement, Save Girl Child program, blood donation, health checkup, water conservation, and so many things. So again, this will depend upon your college. Whatever activities you are undertaking under this criteria, you have to prepare a format in tabular form. You prepared, so it will be easy for your all faculty members and respondent to respond you timely, and then possibly you can summarize this all data. Criteria number 4, it is related to infrastructure and learning resources, physical facilities. Now here I have mentioned some of the photographs. You can see the library easily. You can see indoor games, and you can see your Wi-Fi, your connectivity things, and then students are using it. So your library, your physical facility, your infrastructure, and your provision for maintenance of the campus. Maybe AMC, annual maintenance contract, is there. So if that all is there, information about the software, other softwares which you are using, right from Sri Tally, and so on. List of rare books, which is more important, and details about updatation of the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi details need to be made available. Criteria number 5. Again, 4 points: student support, student progression, student participation, alumni engagement. Now in this case, how you are maintaining a dialogue and rapport with all of them is important. So here there are various stakeholders. You have to ensure that you will maintain a rapport with everybody, and then you are developing a network for alumni. And then for that purpose, again, details will be required. There are how many blood donation camps, details, celebration of birth and death anniversaries of the eminent personalities, campus cleaning drives, collection of aid through for drought or earthquake, NSS camp activities, alumni activities, and feedback from stakeholder. Again, here you can develop a tabular form. Maybe online also you can develop. You can use the Google formats also, and you can develop that. Considering the time limits, possibly I will ensure that I will be able to complete in time. Criteria number 6, governance, leadership, and management. And here there are 3 important things. One is an institutional values and social responsibilities, best practices, and institutional distinctiveness. Now here there are a lot of activities which are carried out by the college. Maybe starting with vision, mission, decentralization of authority, e-governance, welfare measures, faculty development program, performance appraisal of the staff, regular financial audit, resource mobilization, and then IQC activities and its effectiveness. When you talk in these terms, now there will be a need to understand this all. Now you can start with, now you know in CDC there are 3 elected teaching faculty members and 1 non-teaching faculty members. And then you are nominating different authorities from different walks of life. Maybe some experts from industry, experts from agriculture, experts from the social field, and so on. So there are details. Then academic planning, as I told you, there might be a lot of committees which are dealing with this one. And these committees are dealing with different things. For example, I have mentioned here, suppose there is a rebate in college fees for non-teaching staff members. Your college is giving some rebate, some concession, some discount to the members of the non-teaching staff members. Self-appraisal, you know, everything is routed through IQAC, Internal Quality Assurance Cell. So how you are doing that? What are the formats? Standard formats are available. In addition to that, whether you have added something, and then documents and supportive documents are made available, they are assessed. There is a scrutiny or evaluation or review by third party also. You are using teacher diary also. Then training to non-teaching staff about the use of ICT, feedback from everybody, digital documentation wherever possible, interest-free festival advance given to staff, particularly on occasion of Diwali or other occasions, academic audit by accuracy, and then the software recording. When we talk about the software recording, naturally things are important. Maybe it is audio, maybe it is video, or maybe it is uploaded on YouTube or some other channels also. And then this all will help you. Possibly it is advisable to refer the visitor books, prepare an activity kit every time, which will be used for all the activities which are carried out into the college. And this activity kit will be self-explanatory. It will give all minute details also, how to conduct. From that to prepare a report, ensure that your articles or your news appears into newspaper along with your financial, and then accounts are submitted to your college office also. So this activity kit should be such which will comprise everything, so that it will be a standard operating system for all the activities which are carried out into the college. Then teacher training program and so on. Let us go to the last point, that is criteria 7, institutional values and best practices. Again, there is an institutional values, social responsibility, best practices, and these things. I have given some list here. Possibly this all will not be carried out in each college, or possibly there is a possibility that college may be undertaking lot of over and above the activities. I'll just mention few of them. Now our girl students are important, our women faculties are also important, and they are in numbers. So for them you are undertaking different programs. For example, women rights, women safety technology, work-life balance. For their health, yoga and fitness. For them, youth education programs. For them, you are arranging diet and nutrition program. Health issues among the adolescents. And then there is an internal complaint committee which refers to details. And then there is a counseling which is provided to girl student. Okay, I have mentioned here one into Marathi intentionally, Fulude Umlude. For new girl student, they have their own unique issues and problems, and then you are dealing with them differently. Then in our college, there are a lot of waste. So classification of waste is there, processing of waste is there, vermiculture is there, e-waste campaigns you are undertaking once in a week, once in a month, once in a semester, and so on. Possibly no vehicle day you are observing. PUC checkup camps you are organizing in college, plastic free campaign you are doing, paperless office you are implementing. Tree plantation is a regular activity, but you are doing considering the experts' views from your botany and zoo department about what type of the plants to be planted. Indigenous. What is important here? I am audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. What is important here is that it is a teamwork. And being a team, that everybody should participate in process of enhancement of the standard of higher education and our performance. So here I have given a quotation from Johnson & Johnson. To achieve quality, we need to work together. We have to work together. There is no alternative. We do not have choice to change the members of our team. Let us be clear. Collaborate with others. There is a need to collaborate with others. Collaborating with others means there is a need to have a win-win situation. Other colleges are performing in certain areas good, let us have a hand holding with them. Let us have tie-up with them. Let us have collaboration with them. Tolerate the differences. If you want to improve, there is a need to tolerate the differences. For academic community, difference is natural. Difference of opinion is natural. Nothing wrong. Respect diverse views. This we have to learn and improve. And if you do this, then definitely there will be quality improvement in us. So for us, there are two opportunities. And then these opportunities are this. There are two groups, those that will make history and those that are history. So it is our choice to decide to which group you wish to belong. Those that will make history or those that are history. So you have to decide that all. Now here I have given a reference of the Hutler. When we used to pencil, when we were small, but now we use pencils. Do you know why? Because mistakes in childhood can be erased, but not now. So before submitting your SSR or your annual report, AQAR, please ensure that your details are correct, contents are proper, they are logical, they are rational, they are reasonable, and they are supported by adequate documents and evidences. Then there will be no harm. So with this, I express my sincere thanks to organizers, and wish you all a happy, prosperous, healthy, educationally rich and joyous years ahead. Thank you. Thank you very much.